Hello, friends. For our shared reading today, I am going to read a big book. This is a very big book. Can you see how large that is? It's bigger than my head. I could hide behind it if I wanted to. But I'm going to read a big book. And the focus that we are going to have this week as we read through our big books and our shared readings together, we're going to be talking about speaking in complete sentences. Usually, whenever we read books, or even when we speak to people, we speak in complete sentences. And so we are going to be practicing a little bit, listening with our ears to hear if something sounds right. So a complete sentence means that it's a complete thought. If I tell you the dog, you're going to be like, the dog what? And so if I tell you the dog ran, then that's a complete sentence because it tells you who and what they did. And so that's a complete sentence. And so we are going to also be talking about speaking in general in sentences, a little bit about things like him went to the park. Does that sound right? Him went to the park? Or would we say he went to the park? Yes, we would say he went to the park because that sounds better to our ear. And so as we're reading through sentences, our first book doesn't have very many sentences in it. Our first book, but as we get further along in the week, we're going to have more sentences. So we're going to be watching for complete thoughts as we are reading. So our first book is called City ABCs. City ABCs. We can have fun with the alphabet in the city. Sorry, I forgot to bring my pizza pointer. Once you come to class, you guys are going to have chances to be able to use my fancy pointers. Okay. So this says, we can have fun with the alphabet in the city. Let's look for things that start with each letter. There's a bunch of kids, or a few kids. A. Apple. Oh, apples. Sorry. Has an S on the end. That means it's a lot of them. Apples. B. Bus. C. Car. You knew that on your own, didn't you? I bet you know this one too. D. Dog. E. What is this? It's a bunch of eggs. Eggs. F. Flags. There are many flags flying here. G. What is this a picture of? It's outside. The word is garden. Garden. So if I were going to use the word garden in a complete sentence, I could say, the garden is beautiful. Does that make sense? The garden is beautiful. Yes. H. Horse. Horses are my favorite animal. Ice cream. Ice cream is one of my favorite things to eat. J. Jet. K. What's this flying up here? Kite. That's a fancy looking kite flying up in the air. L. Lights. That's a traffic light. M. Motorcycle. So if I wanted to use this in a sentence, I could say, the motorcycle went fast. Does that make sense? Yes. If I just said the motorcycle, you'd say the motorcycle what? Or if I said the motorcycle fast, you would say what? So we have to use all the words to make it make sense. The motorcycle went fast. N. Nest. It's a bird nest. O. Octopus. P. Playground. When you come to school, you will play on the playground. Q. Question mark. That's what that is. Question mark. Do you know that that's what that's called? Anytime we're writing and you write a question, if I said to you, how are you today? You heard that I asked you a question, right? And then after I write, how are you today? I would put a question mark behind my words. R. Rowboat. S. Statue. Statue. T. Taxi. U. Umbrella. Do you use an umbrella sometimes? V. Van. W. Windows. Windows. X. X-ray. You know, an X-ray is the machine that lets you see inside of your body. Lets you see the solid things in your body, like the bones. Y. Yo-yo. Z. Zoo. Look at what we found. And they found an alphabet chart. Has all of the alphabet on there. It says, look at the city things. What letter does each thing start with? What is this? Those are called birds, but they're a special kind of a bird called a pigeon. And pigeon starts out with the P sound. This is a bridge. Bridge. That's a B. This is looks like a subway train. We can just call it a train, but it starts out train. This is called a fire hydrant. Fire hydrant. It's where the firemen get the water out when they need to put out a fire. This is a clock. Clock. That's the letter C. And this is a cat. And that also starts with the letter C. Cat. Thank you for reading the story with me, friends. And we're going to keep reading other stories this week where we practice talking and speaking in complete sentences. That means we say a whole thought. I'll see you soon.